Hello and welcome back po sa ating channel. Kumusta po? I hope you all are doing well. Topic po natin ngayong araw ay tungkol po sa Narcissist Smear Campaign. Narcissist Smear Campaign po ay isa rin pong mabisang tools na ginagamit ng mga narcissist. So basahin po natin. Wait lang. Hindi ko na siya umpisahan masyado sa I-start ko dito sa ang testimony ng dalawang victim na nakaranas ng smear campaign. Ito po ay ang isang anak na ang nanay niya po ay isang narcissist. Ito po yung kanyang testimony. My mother stopped at nothing when I went no contact. She spread rumors about me to family members, my neighbors, and even got in touch with my boss. My boss had no idea who she was, by the way, but that didn't matter to Mom. Lies and more lies. She told people I stole from her, that she'd stopped speaking to me because I was violent, that I abused my kids. She actually wanted to call social service on me, but thankfully, someone talked her out of it. Or so I heard. It was all unreal and all over the top. So, yun po yung story nung anak po na smear campaign ng kanyang narcissist na nanay. At ito naman po yung, wait lang. Ito. The divorce was brutal. He lied about everything to anyone who would listen, especially in his attorney and the judge. He buried me in a paperwork and false accusation. He didn't really want most of what seemed to be fighting for, like more time with kids. He wanted to win. He wanted his truth to prevail. How he got there didn't matter. Yeah. Ganyan po ang mga narcissist. By hook or by crook, they must win. Kaya they are spinning, never-ending spinning. So, yun. Kaya smear campaign po ay ginagawa talaga nila yan. They create lies, they lies to people, they lied to people para mapasama ang tingin mo sa mga, ang tingin ng mga tao sa iyo. So, that's not what narcissists do. So, take note guys, smear campaign ay gawain ng mga narcissist. Eto, basahin natin. Understanding narcissist need for control. Yes, we all feel better when we're in control of a situation and can manage our feelings, as opposed to being tossed about by random waves or being beset by someone else's aggression. But I've come to understand through first-hand experience as well as research and interviews that it's really quite different for the person high in narcissistic traits. Yeah. Different talaga kasi they are different. Hindi sila normal na tao eh. They are disordered. Narcissists are severely disordered. External appearances to the contrary, the narcissist may seem in command and supremely self-confident. Experts agree that beneath the surface, he or she struggles with deep shame and lack of self-worth. Additionally, as explained by Craig Malkin in his book Rethinking Narcissism, the narcissist buries her or her normal emotions such as fear, sadness, loneliness because of an intense and deep concern that he or she will be rejected for having them. You see, kaya sa nagiging dysfunctional kasi yung normal na human, normal sa ating human, halimbawa yung fear, sadness, loneliness, normal yan sa atin ng mga tao kasi there is no perfect life. But sa kanila, pansin niyo yung mga narcissists, they appear like very confident. Pero hindi po, it's all a facade, it's all a mask, it's all false self. Deep inside, they are miserable. Control is what keeps it all together for him or her, as well as offering protection for the fragile parts. When you take these factors into consideration, the smear campaign has its own logic. That's having different truth being established. Kasi kung ano yung version niya ng truth, yun talaga yung paninindigan niya. Kaya nga, narcissists believe their own lies. And they want also the people to believe it. Getting through smear campaign in pretty much one piece. Your strategies are obviously going to vary depending on your relationship. To the narcissist in question, it's one thing to be dealing with an ex-spouse with whom you will have to have continued contact because you have children. Ito halimbawa kung asawa mo at may anak ka. Another when you're dealing with a friend or lover, and quite another when you are an adult child dealing with a parent. Pwede ring pamilya mo, parents mo. That said, this is going to be hard and painful, especially since it will confirm every worst thought you've ever tried to quell about the person, and it's likely to damage your trust in humans generally in the short term. Totoo po yan. After the discard, mawawalan ka ng maiisip mo, may honest pa bang tao sa mundo? Kasi yung betrayal, sobrang sakit po nun. It's too much painful, the betrayal, and after ka i-discard ng narcissist because all this time na you thought this person is sabihin natin friend, all this time you did nothing. And then just one day i-discard ka niya, lalo na pag there's something going on in their life na they're about to be exposed. They will choose you as a scapegoat. So ikaw yung bagsakan ngayon kasi they cannot deal it. It's too much for them. Remember, binaon nila yung basic human emotion na fear, sadness, and loneliness. So kung ang feeling nila they are perfect, kasi it's a mask eh. So kapag lumabas yung the reality na they are flawed, they are defective, or they did something wrong, they spin the situation and look for a scapegoat para yun ang tambakan niya ng yung mga hindi niya kayang i-handle na mga the reality, because the reality will hit them, will slap them in the face, and they cannot take it. It's too much for them. So yun, hahanap siya ng babagsakan niya nun, at yun doon na siya magfo-focus kasi that is to distract herself, and at the same time to distract also the people, and to para yung tingin ng tao hindi sa kanya yung accountability, kundi doon ma-focus doon, i-divert yung pangyayari, ma-divert yung attention ng tao from the narcissist to the victim. So yun. Don't engage. Number 1, ito siya. Don't engage. In this book, The Narcissist You Know, Joseph Borgo actually identifies the vindictive narcissist as a type, as he writes, the drive to prove oneself a winner and a triumph over shame renders the truth irrelevant. That's important to remember because while your desire to set the record straight is perfectly understandable, it won't accomplish much and will keep you in the narcissist orbit by default. Yeah. Kasi nga, kahit ano pang isampal mo sa kanila na reality, hindi yan kasi hindi ang agenda naman doon, on my experience, ang agenda doon hindi dahil parang gusto nilang sabihin sa inyo nga, stop showing me the reality. Kasi it shatters their persona, their illusion na they are perfect. Kaya parang indirect na pagkasabi. Stop showing me my fault. Stop showing me my imperfectness, no? Kaya hindi niya yung direct na masabi, kaya ang gagawin niya, iti-twist na yun. Babalik-tarin ka niya, ikaw ang pagbibintangan niya. So you are now under defense. So keep in mind, once the narcissist accuse you of something, and you know in your heart you are innocent. Just observe, don't absorb. It's a confession, it's a projection, and at the same time, confession. So, yun. Burgos Bishop as part of her smear campaign. True, you will, of course, feel offended. It's important not to retaliate in kind or attempt to turn the tables. If the vindictive narcissist feels you have engaged in a battle, she will escalate the violence of her attack in order to win. Yeah, their agenda is to win. Take the high ground and stick to the truth. Don't speak ill of your enemy unless you have to. Kasi ang lalabas na diyan niya yung smear campaign, yung i-intimidate ka niya, yung yung tatakutin ka niya, alam mo yun? Tapos yung projection, malalaman mo yan kasi sa mga sa mga attack niya sa it doesn't make any sense kung ano na lang ang maisip niyang ibintang sa yun ang ibibintang niya sa So wala talagang one specific na bawa doon magpo-focus sa isang topic. Hindi kasi they spin everything na. So just it's designed to make you confused, to make you no ano ka na lang, observe. And you can just smile. For me, I can just smile because I studied this narcissistic behavior. So natatawa ako kasi it's a validation of what am I reading, am I experiencing. And yeah, knowledge is power. Kaya research. Saan na ba tayo? Ito, basahin natin. This is tough medicine to swallow, but at the end of the day, you will feel good about how you conducted yourself. That actually matters. Exactly. Sinasadya yun for you to engage. So don't engage. Let her vomit, no? Let her vomit. At the end of the day, they expose themselves to the people. And you are living your truth. Do not engage, no? Ito, mahirap siyang panindigan to not defend yourself because I know, you know who you are as a person at pinagbibintangan ka ng hindi maganda, hindi mo ginawa, and you know it's against your value as a human being. You know yourself. But please, ito nga, sabi niya nga dito, it's a medicine, it's a hard to swallow daw. But you have to, no? Wag mo talagang sabi niya dito, this is tough medicine to swallow, but in the end of the day, you will feel good about how you conducted yourself. That actually matters. Yeah, narcissists, they are exposing themselves all the time. Kaya lang yung mga tao, hindi kasi tayo aware hindi natin alam yung word na narcissist and hindi natin alam how they treat people. Pay attention guys, they are exposing themselves every time. Once may knowledge ka sa narcissist, they are exposing themselves every time. Every time they talk, they are exposing themselves. Pay attention. Just take note, just observe. Number 2, focus on what you deal with and not what you can't. The narcissist will put effort into co-opting others to his or her side. Yan. Ito na po yung kaya ngayon they lie to people, sinisiraan kanila, and at the same time they gumagawa sila ng pabor para sa ibang tao kasi they want people as much as possible to side on their side. Kasi mga duwag yan eh. Narcissists are cowards. They hide to nagtatago sila sa nagtatago sila sa yun, parang sasaya ng mga tao. No, they need people kasi at saka yung mga tao po na ginagather nila, yung iba, they are just innocent. They're just being manipulated. Hindi rin nila naiintindihan eh. They are just being used as a pawn, you know? Kasi narcissist, they see people as object to use. And every people around them has a role to play. So yun. The narcissist will put effort into opting others to his or her side. And frankly, there's very little you can do about it. Yeah, leave it like that. It's especially true if you are an adult child either attempting to set boundaries or going no contact. Yun. People really want to believe in the mother myths that all women are nurturing, that all mothers love, and unless they are genuinely open-minded or have experienced themselves, they are usually inclined to take in parents' side. This is hard to accept, especially if close relatives are involved. But focus on the things you can change and not those who you can't. The same advice applies if you're going through divorce with someone high narcissistic traits. Do not engage or play tit for tat, but keep copious notes and have everything in writing. Exactly. Make sure that your attorney is aware of how people high narcissistic traits behave. For more on this, see this post, which includes the viewpoints of both attorney and Malkin. Ayan, sa mga yung mga may divorce diyan, ayan aralin niyo din para hindi kayo ma-spin. Anyway, number 3 tayo. Be prepared for the narcissist to claim the victim role. Yeah, narcissist is a professional victim. They are the victim of the own drama they created. You see? They always have option. Alam niyo, hindi sila papasok sa laro na yun kung kaya nga they are so energy draining kasi they are not normal eh. Sila nga yung may atraso, sila yung biktima. Pero yung ano na yun, yung show na yun is gawa nila. Ang kinagagalit lang naman nila kapag yung biktima kasi nila, they hate their victim kasi how dare you make me accountable kasi wala silang pananagutan lahat ng ginagawa nila, wala silang pananagutan. It's always someone else fault. Laging kasalanan ng iba. Laging kasalanan mo, laging kasalanan ko, laging kasalanan niya, laging kasalanan ng weather. Ganon po ang mga narcissist. I can testify that this made me absolutely crazy during divorce when my ex asserted that I had fled and left him. Ang sumulat ng article na ito pala ay babae na divorce siya sa narcissist na husband niya. So yun, I can testify that this made me so absolutely crazy during my divorce when my ex asserted that I had fled and left him, leaving out all the reasons why and connect the dots. The fact that his assertion could be shown to be lie didn't discourage him in the slightest. It's even more common with a parent who will list every single thing she ever did for you. Food, clothing, shelter, and will paint you as an ingrate at best and crazy person at worst and present herself as the helpless victim. The narcissist is likely telling this tale to absolutely anyone who will listen and more disturbingly believe it, as Borgo points out. Exactly. They believe their own lies. All of this is a very disheartening, especially if you have been the victim of emotional or other abuse. But at the end of the day, you know what is true and what isn't. Exactly. That's your power. That's where your power lies, when you know the truth. That is the most important. And never let narcissists gaslight you. Kasi narcissists, they are also, next topic natin is gaslighting. One of the powerful weapon using trick narcissists use para ma-balance yung kanilang victim. That is yung tinatawag nila na gaslighting. For the next topic po natin yun. All of this is very disheartening, especially if you have been victim of But at the end of the day, you know what is true and what isn't, which is way more than the person on the other side knows. Again, in the short run, this will be of small comfort, but worth it in the long run. Exactly. Look forward, not back. I'm neither a therapist nor psychologist, but you really don't need to be either to realize a smear campaign will make you feel shaken to your core and hugely insecure. After all, this isn't random stranger going after you, but someone you cared about or love and were connected to an important ways. Again, the path our differs depending on the connection. We cannot choose our parents, and while we may feel guilty at asserting ourselves and forlorn because we are being rejected once again, the underlying situation is one we were born into. If the SME campaign is function of going no contact, it is important that you don't devolve into old habits of self-criticism, such as excoriating yourself for all your futile efforts at pleasing her or him, or being angry at yourself for not acting sooner. Part of the process of healing, as I explained, is accepting yourself. You acted when you could. Being the object of smear campaign by someone you choose to be with raise other, often complicated thoughts and emotion. Yes, it will be important to figure out how you ended up here, but trying to figure that out when you're working at staying afloat is the best idea. Saan na yun? One of the hardest things is to try to generalize from the experience. It's easy to make the leap from one man to all men, but it's important that you recognize the specificity. This is one specific person who is doing to this to you. Don't let it color your view of the world. Not everybody is high in narcissistic traits. Oo naman, not everybody. But still guys, pay attention because narcissists are everywhere. They are everywhere. And they look normal. People like us. They blend to us. They blend to a normal, they blend in the crowd. Hindi yan katulad ng nasa mga sabi na pinapanood natin na yung mga narcissist sociopath ay makikita mo yung mga nagkasuot ng maskara, literal maskara. Hindi gano'n. They present themselves as normal. Kaya nga, natitrip na yung mga tao eh. And they targeted uh, good loving people. Lalo na yung mayroong characteristic na wala talaga sila kasi, nako, basta na lang. Number 5, seek support because there's no gold star for going it alone. Yeah, seek support. Ito mahirap ito. Working with a gifted therapist as you navigate these waters can be a game changer. So please take care of you. He or she will also help you stay as unreactive as you possibly can, which will help as well. Eventually, the truth will come out, as Shakespeare wrote. Exactly. And people will eventually see the truth. It's just a matter of time, guys. Remember. Yung mga tao tahimik lang yan because they don't want to be targeted. They don't want to be involved. But they know. They are just playing blind, playing dead kasi they themselves is scared. You know? So, I hope po na may natutunan na naman tayo sa video na ito. Please like, comment, at kung may tanong po kayo, comment nyo lang. At huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong kasi yung channel na ito ay para sa atin lahat. Para po sa ating lahat. So, help me po to build this community. Marami po, ito po ang aking talagang purpose making this channel. Kahit isa lang tao po na marating nito ay masaya na po ako. Kasi, um, lagi ng gaya ng palagi ko pong sinasabi, wala pong nobody to deserve in that situation. Yung aftermath po ng narcissistic abuse ay hindi po kanais-nais na lugar. At wag na po natin antayin na mangyari pa yun sa atin o kaya sa mahal natin sa buhay. Kasi mapi-prevent naman po natin eh. Kailangan lang pong may knowledge tayo kahit papano. At wag po nating isasantabi ang ating intuition, ang ating angel or inner child. Kasi first po na nami-meet natin yung mga narcissist na yan, mapakaibigan yan, asawa or ano dyan, stranger dyan, boyfriend. There is something off in them na hindi natin, excuse me, hindi natin pinansin, pinalagpas natin. And believe me guys, sa habang panahon po na ini-research ko, laging ganun ang mga sinasabi. Na sana nakinig sila sa kanilang intuition. Ako mismo personally, because I saw all those red flags. I know I have this warning sign inside me, pero hindi ko siya pinansin because you know why? Hindi ko siya pinansin kasi I betrayed myself. So yun, I learned it the hard way. So guys, kung mayroon kayong something na napansin, di naman tayo kailangang maging paranoid, but take a step back and process what is going on. Observe and don't be quick to judge because you will see it. You will see it. Lalo na kapag po natin how narcissistic play their dirty tricks. So, thank you very much for being here with me on this video. I hope may natutunan po tayo. Love yourself first po. Bye.